All right, today we're taking a look at the 2021 Hyundai Sonata Sport. It is a new redesigned interior, redesigned exterior. We'll check out all that stuff. We'll get to the horsepower is 180 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque in this thing. With, I believe, a 21-inch display. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, first interior impressions. I love the red stitching around the steering wheel here. It's a bit of a bigger steering wheel, and the paddle shifters feel a little bit nicer than the ones in my car. Obviously, it's the only one I have to compare to. They're the two Hyundais that I drive the most frequently. I promise this isn't a Hyundai channel. I will get my hands on a variety of cars as things go on, but let's talk about this one since we're sitting in it. So I like the door handle here, how it's kind of separated. You have like a little bit of a two-tone color. Still, I really wish car manufacturers kind of put more than just, maybe a bit more effort in the door panels. It's kind of, you've got this piano black kind of thing, which does fingerprint a lot, especially in this area here, down where the center console is. You have your nice little storage areas here. Nice seats. The seats are, I believe, leatherette again with this kind of like cloth material. No sport embroidery like on my car, but again, red stitching all across the seats. The seats are extremely comfortable. You could easily do a road trip in these things, no issue at all. Like I said, a lot of piano black. You have your automatic climate control, so you could either sync or set it one way or the other. It's kind of new standard in a lot of the up cars. So this car is it's not the highest tier, it's also not the lowest tier. It's kind of mid-tier again. You can go higher and get the Elantra N line, and then you'll get the 290 or 285 horsepower. And, this is not the N line, so it's the sport version. Still very sporty. We'll get into it. So over here we have our 21-inch display. Again, don't quote me on that. But you have all your menus here. You have your phone, your driving info, notifications, voice memo, radio. I believe there is Sirius XM on here as well somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but I know it's in here. If you have it, you have your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as standard. Then you have BlueLink, something a little bit different that a lot of probably the older Hyundais don't have currently. You can do your vehicle diagnostics, maintenance, all that stuff. You can see it all in BlueLink. Also, you can link your phone to it and then start your car from the inside. That's very convenient in winter. You can also set all your climate controls from the BlueLink app. Very nice little feature with the newer Hyundais. Coming over to the center gauge cluster here, it's a little bit bigger. You still have your analog gauge cluster, your speed and your RPMs and your general fuel gauge. But then you have a bigger screen in the middle, and it's just nicer to glance at, nicer to look at too. You have your attention level, which this car has a little bit more technology, so we can actually get into that. So this car has your lane keep assist, your front warning collision, and obviously your blind spot monitoring detection as well. You also have a nice little rear view camera, which I'll show you here, where you turn the wheel. It kind of shows you where the car is going to end up. Very nice to have that. Also, you have the clicky things. You have the clicky gear shifter. Very different. Anyways, back to this. You have all your different settings here, where you can change the door, the lights, the sound, everything. The sound is referring to the sound that you hear when you turn on and off the car. So, so we basically have your automatic cruise control, automatic lane keep assist. So automatic cruise control means that when you kind of can adjust the distance that you want your car to be to the next car in front. If you want it to be kind of tailgating the guy, then you can set it up, or you can bring it back down to kind of allow more distance. Very cool tech, very cool. There's sensors, I believe, in the front and back, maybe around, that kind of sense that. And sometimes in the winter they get covered, and you get a bit of warning saying, your sensor is disabled. But that's pretty much it for the interior. You got these nice little mirrors. How's it going? You have, what else do we got in here? I do drive this car every day, or not every day, but at least every weekend. And I'm not. So you do have an automatic parking brake, and it's an electronic parking brake as well. So if you park on a bit of an incline, you'll see that the parking brake will engage. It's a pull to engage and a push to disengage. But we'll leave that on because we are about to get out. So we'll get out, we'll have a look at the exterior of the car, and we're going to go check that out right away. One more thing I forgot to mention before we do that. We have the drive mode selector. I love this drive mode selector. It's a big button right in the middle of the center console and when you change it, you kind of get this little pop-up here that you can go. So this one you have smart, custom, normal, and of course sport. And custom, obviously you can go into settings and change the powertrain. I put mine in normal with the sport steering. I enjoy that a lot. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that we've covered the interior. So let's go and take a look at the exterior, and we'll also look at the back seat and the trunk space. Let's do it. Alright, so here we are on the exterior. You have your keyless entry, so push button once, all the doors will lock. You have your nice, again, no idea what the size are, completely forgot that information, but I do know that the tires are Pirellis, so very grippy in the summer, very nice thing to have. Now you have this whole redesigned front end. If you've ever seen the older Sonata models, then you'll have seen kind of a more, I want to say traditional, but honestly it's not, I don't know what the word is for it, but kind of a little bit more conventional. This is kind of their new take on the headlights, how they kind of go, they start here and then swoop back, and it all looks like one headlight, but it's not. It's actually reflective strips. So these vents, I believe the ones in the middle here are fake, and then the ones a little bit off the side close to the tire are probably real. I noticed too when cleaning this car that the front is a little bit harder to clean than normal because of that piano black. Sorry, I was distracted by the car driving by, giving me the weirdest look you could possibly get. Here we are to the other side. You have the turn signal on the mirror here. Nice black mirrors. Again, piano black on the exterior. I'm not sure how I feel about it because, again, trying to clean this car is a bit of a nightmare. You kind of get it clean and then it water spots all over because of the piano black on the exterior. So you have here coming around to the rear of the car where you have a little bit of a rear diffuser, a dual exhaust like my car. It's a little bit wider of a car. It's also a little bit longer of a car. It's a bit heavier as well. So you have your backup camera. You can see it right there. And then I believe if we just push right here, the trunk opens up. And you have trunk space for days in this thing. Very good trunk space. Lots of room in the back there. You can even put the seats down and then you have double the room. So we'll check out the back seats now. Again, this car is much cleaner than mine. Very nice. Again, I'm 5'11" and I fit absolutely perfectly in here. Like, absolutely no worries at all. Again, dog carrier makes a little bit of an appearance. Absolutely no problem. I have so much leg room back here, way more than you would in my small Elantra. It's so comfortable in here. Again, you can do a road trip in these. We also have your nice little center cup holders here. Nothing too special there. You have a USB charger in the back here as well, which is very nice, and some cargo nets for whatever you need to put in there. So let's get out of here and let's take it for a spin, and we'll talk about some driving impressions. You also have these little lines here on the head of the taillight, the top of the taillight. I don't know if that's for air direction or what, but that's pretty much it. So let's get in and drive the thing. Alright, so let's take this thing for a drive. Let's pop right into sport mode, why don't we? Let's go into fun times right away here. Okay, so let's get it going. You're gonna mind my GPS once again. I am still learning the area and kind of want to talk more than think about directions currently, so that's why we have that going on. Anyway, still very nice. So driving impressions. First impression, the very first time I actually drove the car was that you can notice the size a little bit more. You can notice the heaviness. It's less nimble than my car would be. The steering is still very good, very pointed as well. The acceleration in sport mode is okay. Again, it's 185 horsepower, so it's not I believe 180 horsepower actually. It's not crazy impressive, but for the price that the car is, which I believe is 38,000 Canadian, not bad. Not a lot to complain about there. It drives really well. The pickup is okay. I don't know if it would be as fun on a track as, say, an Elantra Sport or even the Sonata N line. But I don't think you're buying this car to do that. I think you're buying this car for your city commute. It's kind of, I find it a young professional's car, if you will. Yeah, a young professional's car. We'll say that. So in terms of overall like winter driving, it's okay too. It's a bit heavier, so I find it sticks to the road a little bit better. Again, it is going to depend on your winter tires. This is a front wheel drive car, so you're really dependent on how good your winter tires and how far your winter tires will take you. So with that being said, we'll just continue here. There's not a lot of road noise. I find when you get up to the higher speeds, then you get a little bit more road noise than I would like. I thought that maybe in 2021 they would fix that, because I know in my 2018 Elantra, the road noise is pretty brutal and it's pretty noticeable. And this one is better. They've definitely improved cabin noise, but not, it's good, not great. We'll say that. Not to the point where it's kind of luxury quality, but I'm pretty sure they save that kind of cabin isolation for their higher luxury brands like the Genesis and stuff like that of the world. So exhaust noise is okay. It's quite a nice little noise. I don't believe there's any pumped in audio in this car. I think it's all real and natural what you're hearing, but it's nothing special. It's a very comfortable car. I think you buy this car more to be comfortable than anything else. I don't think you're buying this car to rip around in the streets and drag race. I don't believe that would be the purpose of it. So, but nice pickup still. The throttle response is very good. I like the braking as well. The brakes at first were a lot to get used to in this car. They were quite heavy, so it takes a little press for a lot of brake, it was something I wasn't used to, and I'm not sure a lot of people will be used to it on the first time driving. But you get used to it quite quickly. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing that you can't get used to for sure. So that's pretty much all I've got. I just like to do these little quick reviews of cars that have kind of already been covered, I'm sure, thoroughly. So I just kind of want to give my general opinion and generally how it's been to own the car versus actually driving it at the dealership for a couple days. Again, the steering feels super good. Even in sport, I feel like the sport steering is a bit almost like a comfort steering. Super good, super satisfied with it. And I feel like I could really rip it into a corner. Like here we have this roundabout. I feel like I could really rip it, and it just stays planted. There's nothing that will like allow it to come out. I obviously have traction control fully on, but still, nothing will affect it that much there. Yeah, so very, very, very happy with this this car here. All right, so we're driving through a bit of an off-road, so it's a good little test of suspension because the road isn't done here, and so far it's actually quite nice. I mean, it's not SUV quality. I still feel every single bounce and bump that there is in this road, but overall it's pretty decent. Obviously, you're not going to take this car off-roading, and I'm going about 20 kilometers an hour, so nothing crazy. I know in the higher versions of this car, you have things on the key fob that will allow the car to, back in and back up and go forwards in and out of parking spots that are potentially tight. This car doesn't have any of that, and honestly, I don't, at the moment, I don't see a need for it. I feel like it's possibly more of a party trick than anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and whip a Yui here because I am in a zone that Google Maps doesn't even know where I am. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's more of a party trick than an actual feature of the car, because it's not really, it's cool to show your friends that happens, but I don't really see myself using it like daily or anything like that, as I get stared at for having a camera on my forehead. I'm still very much getting used to the whole camera on forehead driving car, people taking 3 looks at me to figure out what the hell I'm doing. That's the fun of it, right? That's what we do it for. All right. Yeah, so I didn't have this car appraised or anything like that, so I don't know what the resale value is, but I imagine pretty high. I imagine that on the used markets, these things held their value quite well as we go over a massive bump. So yeah, I imagine these cars are still quite valuable. I imagine that they hold value over time. Alright, so that'll about do it as we come to our final parking spot here for the video. And the sun is right in the camera, so we'll clack that down. There you go, there's the view. So yeah, that'll about do it for the video for now anyways. Again, I hope you enjoyed. The audio video quality / my commentary will hopefully improve over time. I'm slowly getting used to how to do this kind of thing and how to word things and what to say, what to talk about. And as I get my hands on more newer cars, there'll obviously a bit more to talk about because they will not have been covered so heavily. So with that being said, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, comment. If you have any cool cars in the Montreal, Quebec area that you want to see on the channel and you would let me either ride along or review myself, go ahead and let me know. It'd be very much appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one.